The Octogenarian Bird Bones quarterback Aaron Rodgers, the alleged back-to-back NFL MVP, MVP, was Garbaggio last year, and he signed an even worse Garbaggio contract with the stupid Packers, and the Packers were Garbaggio on the field, and they didn't make the playoffs, all that stuff, and the future was up in the air. Obviously, Green Bay wanted to move on, go to Jordan Love because he's better than whatever the sack of just old bones and old balls is, but whatever. And yeah, there have been a lot of talk and speculation about him and the Jets and all this stuff. And finally, on March 15th, the Ides of frickin' March, Pat McAfee, investigative reporter, finally got Rodgers to spill the beans. So this is what's going on. Rodgers going to the Jets, basically, essentially. Dan Graziano, Rodgers on Pat McAfee. My intention is to play for the New York Jets. I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's the Packers and the compensation they're trying to get for me. So, of course, he takes a couple swipes at the Packers. And I love how passive-aggressive he is. Well, first off, he says he likes clear communication and then goes on like a 30-minute preamble, just rambling on about this stuff. And also, he says how he doesn't have any malice towards the Packers and then just airs out all the dirty laundry. It's great. Also, Bridget Condon. Nobody has bled green and gold like me. Baloney. Even Packers will call BS on that. I love that city. Which one? Green Bay or Appleton? Or Manitowoc? Now it's about the reality of the situation. They want to move on. They don't want me to come back. So it's like, oh, woe is me. World's smallest violin. They paid you $50 million a year. And then it's like, oh, they don't want me anymore. Please. Yikes. Rap sheet. Aaron Rodgers said on Pat McAfee, he went into the darkness. Oh, yeah, his darkness retreat. It's supposed to be 4 days. He chickened out after 2. It's like, it's too dark. Can I get a nightlight and some hot cocoa? 90% retiring, but it was clear to me at that point, while the Packers were saying the right thing, public, they were going to move on. Says he wishes he had heard they wanted to move on earlier. Like, what was the first clue? Drafting a first-round quarterback 2 years ago? Being like, hey, Jordan Love's looking pretty good. Hey, how about that guy? How about that guy? How about that guy? Just please. And then Rodgers. So this pissed me off. So Kevin Seifert, who was not Carl Gerbschman. So he used to be the NFC North writer before he came to the Vikings beat writer last year. And as Rodgers says, it's my intention to play for the Jets. The words will filter down to the Vikings, Bears, and Lions this way. For the first time in more than 30 years, that the Packers won't have the division's top quarterback. Baloney. First off, Cousins was the best quarterback in the division last year. He had been for a number of seasons. And also, I mean, Rodgers was the 4th best quarterback in the division last year towards the end. Right, so Jared Goff was better than him with Ben Johnson. Respect. Fields, obviously a different type of quarterback, but certainly was getting it done. Rodgers was a liability. I mean, the Packers became a run-first team with 12 at the helm. That's exactly what happened, man. Again, I understand Seifert's bias because he used to cover the NFC North in its entirety. But also, I mean, mask on, mask off. Like maybe he is Carl Gerbschman. And the Packers. All that stuff, man. And yes, Rodgers is following in Bert Favor's footsteps, but he's not taking that next step. No. He's going to go to the Jets. He's not going to the Vikings and all that stuff. Plus, of course, he's already high maintenance. I mean, he says, like, oh, I don't have a wish list. I don't have a list of demands. All that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But no, yeah, so the Jets, you tell me the Jets are just paying Alan Lazard $11 million per year for nothing. And they have interest in Mercedes Lewis, who's 97,000 years old, or Randall Cobb, just like the corpse of Randall Cobb, or they're looking at OBJ. Also, I understand that Rodgers is like old and doesn't remember things, doesn't compute information very well because he's 85 years old, but I mean, he knows that the Jets have Garrett Wilson, right? The offensive rookie of the year, an absolute stud receiver, rising up the ranks to become one of the best in the game. Like, he knows that, like, right? And also, Tyler Gronklin at tight end. Come on, man. But I'm happy that it's finally over. Like, everyone knew that this is coming, and I'm just finally glad that it was announced. Also, I love on these cropping out AJ Hawk because screw him. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Rodgers announces on the Pat McAfee show that he's coming back. His intention is to play for the Jets and then takes a couple shots at the Packers. It's kind of funny. Anyways, let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.